Alright, g'day everyone, welcome back to another video. Now, I'm just prepping my tinny at the moment because tomorrow I'm heading off on a camping trip just for a one-nighter, and I thought I might show you everything I take, so all my camping gear, safety equipment, all the stuff like that. I've just had a couple of questions about it, and one of you guys gave me a tip that this might be a handy video for you, so that's what I'm doing today. Let's do it. So I'm just going to start at the bow, go to the stern, and pretty much show you everything I've got on here. Alright, so I don't have the electric motor on yet, but I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm not leaving that out here overnight, so that'll go on tomorrow. Just charging the electric motor battery. Obviously anchor and chain and rope. And that's just like a grab line for when I launch the boat. Then if you come under here, you can see that, so get this out. Bucket, just a spare mask and snorkel. I always take that regardless if I'm going spearing or not, just so in case I have to jump in the water, I drop something, I can find that. That's just a rag to grab fish or whatnot, clean up mess. So I take 2 life jackets, this inflatable one, and just a regular like $15 job from BCF. Next, under the casting deck, so if you see under here, this is my main fuel tank. It's 25 litres. I have it up here just to distribute the weight a bit better on the boat, and that's 110 amp hour AGM to run the electric. Now on the starboard side of the casting deck, I've got my safety grab bag. I'll show you what I've got in there. So, got flares, V-sheet, EPIRB. This one is registered with AMSA, so they've got my details in case this one is activated. They know who they're looking for. Every now and then I'll just test it, so you lift that up, press the test button. It flashes and beeps a couple of times. That means it's all good. Alright, and that battery expiry is October 29, so that's heaps in date. I've got a waterproof, rechargeable VHF radio. And then a couple other little bits and pieces, like zinc aluminum sticks, whistle, and a signalling mirror. Now, I have this little sticker here that I write my expiries for my flares and my EPIRB on, so that way I don't forget it and get caught out. Now also on this side I have a first aid kit, so a pretty decent size one, and then that's like a seat for someone sitting up the front, usually for my wife, she sits on that. Fish guide, oh, bit wet. Oh. Bit of water in there from the last wash. So this is my chopping board. It's called a fishing mate. That just bolts onto the railing off the gunnel, so pretty handy. And then just this box down here. I used to just carry my safety equipment in that, but now I've just got spare stuff in there. No, you don't even need to see it. It's just the smallest first aid kit, another set of flares, bit of bog roll. You never know, because shit happens. Alright, so that's everything in under the casting deck. Alright, next when I'm doing an overnighter, I always take this big blue box here, and that's a Pelican case. It's pretty much waterproof, so I can store all my cooking gear, clothes, bit of fishing gear and whatnot in here. So I'll show you in here what I've got. Alright, so on this side, torch, okay, sleeping bag, this is my spearing. This is my mask when I go spearing, so gloves, knife, stuff like that. A wetty. This is a fly, so I can tie this between trees, goes over my swag, so especially good when it's raining. And then show you here, that's my tackle bag, and that's just a camping chair down there. Now in this box, this is like all my cooking gear, so that's my little gas stove. Stubby cooler. If you haven't already and you want to support the channel, go to my website ozadventure.net, grab yourself a stubby cooler, and that would be much appreciated. So that's cool, very important. What else we got? So that's just cutlery, spare gas Canada stuff for the cooker, some Bushman repellent, some cooking oil, rope, it's pretty important, more mozzie repellents, and then yeah, that's just cooking gear. I try to keep everything pretty simple to a minimum. It's pretty standard. What else have I got down here? Also got this. This is pretty cool. I'll show you this. So this is a Gerber saw. You can get it apart. Okay. So it folds out around like that. Little clip hooks on there. And then that just folds up. And there you go. Saw for cutting firewood. It works bloody good, eh? Pretty stoked with it. Alright, so that's all the cooking stuff. I still got to put food in there and clothes. I normally just throw my clothes in a dry bag, and that can sometimes fit in there too, but if not, I'll just leave it on the deck. Behind, under the seat there, that's where I store my net for netting fish. Okay, now for this trip, I'm only going away for one night. It's not a big trip. Mostly I think I'm going to do some soft plastics fishing for flathead, so that's the sort of more of the fishing gear I'll be taking. I'll still probably throw in a couple more rods. Okay, got the crab pot, pretty much always take that. Spear gun. So yeah, this is my spear gun. It's a Rob Allen Evo 1000. So I haven't used it that much. You all know I'm a pretty crappy spear fisherman, but I'm learning. I think I'm getting better. Just taking my small set of fins on this trip, and then in the side pocket it's got a knife, some more rope, and that's a rod holder. That's it for about there. Down here's my swag. Now I do have two swags. I've got a smaller one and a larger one. This is the large one because I'm pretty sure I'm going to camp on the beach this time, so I'll prefer to sleep in that one just because it doesn't touch you. But my smaller one, especially when it's hot, like in summer, and it touches you, it can be so hot. So yeah, so I don't really enjoy sleeping in the smaller one in summer, so that's why I go with this one. But however, if I am sleeping in the boat, it takes up a lot less room, so it is a bit easier to move around and have the swag set up. So when I do sleep in the boat, all I do is the Pelican case, I spin it around so it's lengthways, and then I can set the swag up lengthways along the boat there. So it works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll come over to this side. Oh, that's Small fishing gear. I've got a bailer, all around white light, crab measurer. That's my switch panel. That's where my sounder goes. Again, I just haven't put it on. Just got to plug it in. Seat. Now down the back, esky. It's pretty self-explanatory. My main start battery for the motor. And then I've got a 11 litre secondary tank, and I sort of use it as an emergency tank, so I try not to use it. That's just in case something goes wrong and I need it to get home. Now, if I'm going on a long trip, I'll need a couple of jerry cans of fuel, so I normally put one either side of the Pelican case, and I'll ratchet strap them down. So I can carry about, what was it? Yeah, about 76 litres of fuel. So that is plenty to go to the top of Fraser, to go from Runaway Bay where I live to the top of Moreton Island and back with my motor. It's not far off getting 4 kilometres per litre of fuel, so it's really efficient. So all right, let's move on. And that's my water jug. That's a 20 litre jug. Depending on how long I'm going will depend on how full I'll have it. So I've only got about maybe 10 litres for this trip, but even that's probably overkill for one night in winter. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, a couple of things I've still got to throw in. Clothes, I'll throw in a bit more fishing gear, and yeah, so that is all the camping and safety gear I take away with me when I go out in the tinny. So I hope that was helpful or interesting for you. If you've got any questions or about any of this gear or what I'm doing or using, just leave it in the comments, and I always write back to everyone, so I'll answer all your questions. Yeah, that is about it. If you haven't done so already, just hitting that subscribe button is probably the easiest way to help me out, and it's free, so get on board with that. And if you haven't already, check out my Instagram, and that's where I post photos of my trip. You'll see what I'm up to a lot sooner than when this YouTube video comes out. So yeah, that's it. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.